Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dating Real Talk. I'm your host, Kimmy Seltzer. This is a show where reality TV meets real-time dating advice. I am your hostess with the mostest. I'm a confidence therapist, dating strategist, and image expert. That's a mouthful to say. I have a holistic approach in helping you all look and feel your best so that you attract more love in your life. And here's the thing that's kind of funny. A lot of times people come to me, find me a man, find me a woman, find me love. But really, in the end, what they end up doing is finding love from within. And that's what ends up attracting love. And actually, I have something hot off the press. Didn't even tell you, Allie. I'm about to introduce Allie too. Is I just got a text on the way here from the studio from a client. He was a widower in his early 60s. And he said, Kimmy, I'm a happy student. I just got engaged. So, Alan, if you're watching, congrats.
Cheers to Alan.
Cheers to Alan. So, and that was a perfect example of someone who found love from within after a long period of darkness. And obviously now he's super happy. So, with that being said, if you are new to the show, welcome, welcome. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Tuesdays, I just launched this week. It's called Real Talk Tuesdays. This is where I answer real questions from you all. So please come live. Any dating questions that relate to dating, relationships, love, mating, you got it. I'm there to answer your questions. And if you cannot, just submit your questions at datingrealtalk.com and I will read them live. But on Thursday, which is today, this is where we talk about reality TV shows. And obviously what we've been talking about in the last couple episodes is the Golden Bachelor. This is season 2. And not only are we reviewing what has happened, but also kind of giving real-time advice along the way. And with me to help me do that is the lovely, the beautiful Allison Melody from Food Heals Podcast.
Cheers, Kimmy. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I can't get away from you being here. Like, I want you there all the time.
I was supposed to only co-host episode 1. Here we are, and we're just going to keep going.
We
keep
keep dating.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a wonderful relationship. So, yeah, no, I've been like loving our conversations and our take on things. And you are so good at the pop culture thing. And that's why I had you, because I'm like, well, I sometimes watch shows, sometimes I don't. I'm not up on everything, but what I do know is the psychology behind things and how that applies to real life.
Absolutely, you do. That is your specialty, and I love learning from you.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. Let's get to what's been happening.
A lot happened on the last episode of The Golden Bachelor.
A lot. Yeah, this was like a pivotal one. Well, because it's getting real.
It's getting real.
We're seeing now the stakes are higher. Right. And the women also are falling more for Mel. And
except Carol. She left.
Well, she left. Oh my God. Spoiler alert. So if anybody has not watched it, yes, Carol left the building.
If you haven't watched it, you should probably pause and skip ahead because we're going to give some spoilers.
Yeah. Or pause, watch it, and then come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was okay. So I guess what was your overall take on it? Because you said a lot happened, like just things that kind of you got from it, because I definitely did.
Yes. Well, I feel like the spell that Mel had around Nicole was finally lifted by a shaman and some tarot cards. So that was interesting because we talked about Nicole last time, I believe, and how our impressions, especially my impression, changed because I liked her. And then she kept showing her cards. I was like, no, girl, you're making yourself look bad. And now, this last episode, she made herself look real, real bad. So again, spoiler alert, it was very clear that Nicole was not going to make it to the end of this episode because of multiple controversial cringe moments and things that she said. She's basically trying to produce the show like a Real Housewife, while everyone else seems to be genuinely out there for love.
Yes, yes. Well, and it's interesting. Each woman has something that they lead with. Mm-hmm. And I'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, I would love to hear.
So, but besides the Nicole drama, was there anything else that you got from this episode?
I mean, I'm excited for there are now 3 women that he's going to go to their hometowns, and all 3 of them, I feel like actually had a real connection. Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, it was so funny because before he would give the rose to each woman,
Yeah.
I would call out to the TV, and it was in the exact order that he called out.
Wow, you knew.
I knew.
We should do a live watch and see what happens when Kimmy does her predictions.
Well, maybe we will do that November 19th. I'm just saying, prelude. Yeah, because I actually think he stated it in the order that he had the connection with, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I that does make sense.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was interesting. So, yes. Okay. We're down to 3. So I had an overall take of this episode in that it really highlighted the different aspects of chemistry and how we lead with certain types of chemistry that is our confidence, and how we connect with people as well. But sometimes what we lead with, if we do it too much, there's an imbalance. And certainly that's what we saw with Nicole. I'll just start with her.
Certainly. Yeah. Okay, let's start with her because she's the obvious one, but then I want to go through the other women as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Nicole, yes, obviously. And the way it's edited, they make it so that she looks like she's in it to get famous.
Yes. And I still think she is.
Yeah.
But certainly they're giving her that edit.
No, 100%.
Editors are very good at their job, and they're very good at manipulating, just like a Real Housewife tries to manipulate a storyline. The editors are the actual ones manipulating the storyline.
But what you cannot manipulate are people. And no matter how it was edited, there were still issues that we see, right? Like with her. So, and again, all of these ladies, I feel, are lovely. And it's not that. It's just that what gets highlighted are things that I think they struggle with in the real world, and how we all do too. And you know, I don't know about you, but I saw myself in some of them. I saw some of the clients that I work with in some of them. Like it's universal. So what I'm about to share isn't to just pick on them. It's also to say, well, okay, what are some things that I might struggle with when I'm on a date and what I'm looking for and how I connect?
Yeah. Okay. So give us some examples.
So Nicole, besides that she was like in it for the fame and fortune, what was telling for me is how she was talking about her struggles and feeling insecure with her financial situation.
Okay, so let's rewind and say what happened. So Mel said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you would think that would elicit an answer of like, oh, you know, me and you, or the person I love, or, you know, something about family and about, but girl is like, well, my dad says I need to make more money, so I want to be an Instagram influencer and write a cookbook. And you're like, honey, no, that was the most cringe answer you could ever. And however they edited, if she also said, I want family and blah, 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 maybe she did. But what we saw is not how you lead and answer that question.
What I actually saw was a very scared little girl underneath it all. I think that sense of feeling not secure, whether it's financially or emotionally, she has learned to lead with sex and flirtation to try to get like a sense of control.
And that's why she can't believe it's not working, which you see later. And then she's like, please, like, why wasn't I picked? I'm the best. I mean, it's such a, I don't know. I want to say, I don't know if she's a narcissist, but it's such a narcissistic way of acting, but it can come from a lot of pain. To your point.
Yeah. I mean, everything comes from pain, quite honestly. And I think that it was interesting because Mel finally got it. You know, and
you saw him make the switch.
You saw the switch, and obviously it was edited where he said, well, maybe that other woman who was trying to warn me, I think it was her. Like, I think he got it, right? But what is interesting to me is that the spark and the flirtation is her superpower. So that part in the first phase of dating, you know how we were talking about like the courtship in the last episodes, there's different phases of dating. And a lot of people don't realize that. We talk about phases in relationships, but not dating. Okay. And so there are 3 phases, and I talk about this. The first phase is courting. Courting is what we see in the beginning, the flirtation, the fun, keeping it light, reeling him in and her in, and it's that playfulness. But then it kind of moves along. And as you get to know somebody, and then there's some consistency and emotional development and intimacy, we see what I call just pure dating, where you're really getting to know someone on a more emotional and spiritual level.
Mhm.
And then the third phase is like committed relationship.
Yeah. Well, they were definitely in the spiritual phase.
Well, we
With the
got
shaman.
well, it was a test. Oh my God, the shaman.
I cannot. Oh, I cannot.
We might have to break into like a commercial in the lightheartedness of the shaman.
Do we need some Palo Santo to clear the energy in this studio?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we'll get it. Let me finish the Nicole thing. We'll get back to the shaman.
Okay. Well, if you bring it up, I'm going to talk about it. It's so cringe.
So, yeah. I think that maybe one of the things that happened with Nicole is that she got so far in the courting phase. And then when it got real, she failed.
Yeah.
Right? Like she couldn't get to the emotional. I quite honestly think it's hard for her. And that's why she's learned to lead with kind of the superficial stuff because she knows that works and it's where her confidence lives. And it's so good for her. And here's the thing that I find with my clients, like when you're really good in one phase, it's usually you fall short in the other. So if you're a relationship gal and you're so good at it, courtship might be really hard for you to keep it like fun and flirty. Conversely, like with Nicole, she's really good at the courting phase. So I think the deeper stuff is hard for her.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I don't want to shame a confident woman because more power to you. But it just kind of shifted into something that you can just tell, regardless of editing and all of that. She's not there for the right reasons. And maybe she could fall in love with Mel or someone like him, but she's got to let those walls down at some point. And she showed us she can't do that at this point.
Right. And then even when she was in the car, she had to make it about, well, who knows? Maybe I'll be the next Golden Bachelorette, wink. She had to save herself.
And I think she thought that was so cute. And I think everyone at home was like, oh my God, girl, stop. This is so cringe. And let me tell you, because she said, I want to be an Instagram influencer and all of this. Well, I went to her Instagram.
Oh, of course you did. And
she has less followers than me, Kimmy.
Oh,
America is not following unless she has another account, but the one that's supposedly her official account, she don't even have. She has about. I don't want to say because I don't want to say it's low because it's good for anyone having this amount, but I'm in the podcast space for 10 years. That's where my influence comes from. She has been on television, and her following is not that great. That's all I'm going to say. So she didn't win over America's heart. Like she said, I'm not dating Mel. I'm dating America.
Tell me
go
how
on
you
another
really feel.
Exactly. Go on another show, but don't go on this show because what I don't like about it is because there are so many women who do truly seem to be seeking love, and that's what I want to root for.
Well, and there was the difference because some of the women who were sent home, whether it was this episode or not, the emotional like crying and things that they were feeling was because they really started falling for Mel. They wanted to find love. It came from that place. Her upsetness was not because she's because she didn't win.
Yeah, exactly.
For her, it was about winning rather than finding love.
Yeah.
And so that was my conclusion with Nicole. So Nicole, I'd love to help you if you're out there. Anyway,
Nicole, see ya. But come on the show if you want to chat about it.
Yeah. I mean, prove us wrong.
Prove us wrong.
Okay. So who's next? Who do we want to talk about next?
I want to know why Carol left. What are your thoughts?
Carol. Oh, I took so much notes on her.
Yeah, because she was.
Well, I want to hear your observation first.
I didn't really know. My initial thought was if she was like, I don't want to be rejected on TV, so I'm going to reject him first because we didn't have enough one-on-one time. I don't feel like he feels a connection with me, so why don't I leave before I get rejected? And that I understand, and I'm like, okay, I get that. So what, I'm sure we do that in real life all the time, which is probably what you're going to say because you're looking at me nodding like, uh-huh. Okay, so tell us.
Well, what's funny is I was not doing that, but the fact that you took that in that way is also interesting, Ellie.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, are you going to Freud about me? What does this say about me?
Do you want to go on this couch?
Oh, should I? Okay.
Maybe we have a session with that. No, I was nodding actually in acknowledgement because that's exactly what I was thinking too. And as I was watching it, every note that I had from episode 1 to here, the word that kept coming up was insecure.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she's been hurt, not only insecure, but something really happened. I could feel it from her. And I think that's why she felt awkward, you know, in different moments. I know she didn't have a lot of dating experience. I think because she has been hurt, she was looking for more validation so that she could open herself up again. And when she didn't get the date, it's exactly what you said. It's like, well, I'm going to leave before I open myself up to hurt again. And so by her saying, well, I didn't feel the connection in the end, I think was a protection mechanism.
I do too. Yeah.
And so, and then she said, well, and this is the part that I love about whether it be the show or, you know, like my dating retreats that I do, it's just getting one step closer to thinking about that it is possible.
Yeah.
So even though it didn't work out, like I would hope if Nicole's watching that this is a stepping stone, you know?
Carol.
I mean, Carol, sorry. I know this. Thank you. Carol, because Carol, like she has so much potential. I just think she has this wall. And I also saw that she was looking for external validation in order to say, okay, I have the connection now. She has to find the internal validation before that can happen. And it's only then that connection can really be made.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about that all the time in the relationship aspect of my show, and loving yourself first opens you up to get the love that you seek from others. And when you love yourself first and you put yourself first, it's not a selfish thing. It's actually what you can do to create the life that you want. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And, you know, it sounds almost cliche and a little like woo woo, like,
I know.
just love yourself and everything will be fine.
Self-love.
But what does that mean? And see what I saw on the show, it's like looking at things like that. Like it showed up in her body language. It showed up in the way she talked, the way she retracted, the way she didn't share until, you know, like it was almost too late and then it was awkward, you know? So practicing almost these habits, right? With your body language, your conversation skills, your flirtation skills, that will override some of these like things that keep happening. But also like it's beyond the looks. It's really like, what is your value? And if you place value on some other person, then you're really not valuing yourself. So it's really like being a little selfish, being queen.
Yeah.
Being a little bit Nicole, but not all of Nicole.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like being unapologetic about who you are.
Yes.
Is the difference. Not being like leading with, I have to act this way because, and that's one of Kimmy, what you would say, a love shield, right?
Yeah.
But acting who you
You've
are.
been watching my show.
I mean, I've paid attention once in a while. Once in a while, I pay attention to the things that my good friend Kimmy says.
Love it. Okay, who's next?
Let's see. I have to check my notes.
Peg. Talk about Peg.
Oh yeah,
Peg is the mud.
Fabulous. Peg on a unicycle. I mean, I'm gonna tell you who Peg is. I like Peg. Peg, I love you. Peg is the girl who it's like, okay, you do something once, like let's say she's Kyle Richards on The Real Housewives, who always does the splits. You do it once and everyone's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then you do it every single time, every single party, you're in a split. And it's like, all right, calm down, girl. We get it. You're athletic. We get it. You can do the splits. Like, stop. She's on a unicycle, like, do, 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 do. And I'm just like, oh my God. But I want to say, to our earlier conversation, it is unapologetic. So girl, you be you. I kind of like, it's a little cringe, but I kind of like it. So I don't know what your thoughts are, but it's like, you know, the ocean doesn't apologize for making waves. So girl, go get your bag.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Yeah. Well, and I also, I'm paying attention to Mel's reaction to
Yeah,
her too.
yeah.
And he loves her sense of adventure.
I can tell.
Right? Like, I think that is the biggest draw
Yeah.
to Peg, is that she almost is kind of like one of the guys. Like, we were talking about that before, but yet, she can be kind of playful and sexy at the same time. I question the depth. I don't know if they've gotten there.
Yeah.
Like she's
the fun one.
Things a little bit more on the surface, and she's the fun one. And I think the chemistry, she leads with more of that, like, playfulness, the intellectual, the fun, that kind of thing. I haven't seen it enough yet of the emotional chemistry yet between the two of them.
I hear you. Okay. But she made it. Spoiler alert, she made it. So I'm excited for her.
She made it. No. And he really likes I would love to see more of that. I think when he goes and visits the family, that's going to say a lot. I wonder if she'll let him in a little bit more. I just wonder if she has had practice at actually being vulnerable.
Yeah.
She's authentic.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the vulnerability. I think it's hard for her.
Okay. Well, we'll find out in the next episode.
Please stay tuned for more. Okay. Well, what about Debbie?
Okay. Which one was Debbie?
So Debbie was the one that was picked third.
I like her. She's a fitness professional.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts about her?
I like her.
You like her? Do you think they'll make it?
Out of the three, I'm going for someone else. So I'll tell you.
Yes.
later.
Okay.
Okay. But I like her.
Yeah. You like her. I like her too.
Yeah.
I like all the ladies, actually.
Me too.
I think that Mel really enjoys his connection with her. I think she's spunky.
Yeah.
I think the sexual chemistry is there. Absolutely. Here's my question. I think that she likes him more than he likes her. I think there's a little bit of an imbalance with the chemistry. And I think she's like a kid, like, and she wants it so badly because she hasn't had it.
Which is totally understandable and relatable.
100%.
Yeah.
I think the other kind of pink flag is that she doesn't have kids, and it's not against her, but Mel seems very connected to, like, the family element, and I just wonder about the understanding of that,
Did Mel say he wants someone with kids, or we don't know?
He didn't say. I just know it's a value of his, and, like, when the other women talk about their kids, I see him kind of like
light up.
Yeah, like there's a little more of a pull. And that's not to say that people can't be together, somebody has kids, they don't have kids. It's not that.
Of course.
I just think in this instant, I just wonder about it and how that will play, because when he goes home, it's her friend that he's meeting.
Right.
It's not family. It's a different dynamic, right? So that'll be interesting.
I mean, that's how it would be for me. My parents are no longer with us. I was thinking about this. I was like, where would I take my hometown? I was like, do they meet my high school friends?
They meet me.
Or do they meet my LA friends? Like, because I have my friends are my family.
He would come on the show.
He would come on the show. Okay. We'd be like, you're going to come on Dating Real Talk.
We could do like a whole thing.
Yeah, because some people don't have and I think one of the best parts of the hometown is you get to meet where the people come from and who their family is.
It's important.
And for her and for me, we don't have that. And there are many people who don't have that, to no fault of their own.
And it doesn't have to be that, because your friends can be your family.
Oh, they would.
Right?
Like, I can think of some of my friends put him in the hot seat, and I'm like, I don't want you to talk to him.
Yeah.
You're gonna crush this man.
Right. But you want the man to see if he can handle that and how he interacts with that. Right. So that's why I say, like, I don't think it necessarily matters. It's just how it plays out between a couple. So it'll just be interesting to see in the next episodes. It's something that I wondered about. Okay.
I'm rooting for her. I
like her too.
Yeah.
And I think even if it doesn't work out, I think this process really helped her and opened her up. So, okay. So now we have, all right, I definitely want to talk about, it's Cheryl, the one who was also sent home. No. Cheryl was
No, Carol went home.
There's so many
but
C
Cheryl
words.
didn't make it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Carol went home. Let's see. The last three stand. Yeah. Carol went home, but we have Cheryl. And the last three standing are Cindy, Debbie, and Peg.
Right. Cindy. Yeah. Cindy, I want to do last.
I know. Are we gonna? We always agree. I swear we don't plan this in advance.
I swear. Like we even said off air, let's not talk about this.
We didn't want to know.
Record. Yeah. Okay. No, Cheryl, I want to talk about Cheryl. So what was your take? Were you surprised?
Was I surprised? I don't think I was surprised, but I was still rooting for her because I knew how badly she wanted it. And I do think she's adorable and sweet.
And for that very reason, I think is why Mel kept keeping her.
Okay.
I think there was an element of feeling sorry for her and also liking her as a person.
Yeah. Friendship vibes more than romance.
Beautiful, not even friendship, I think, because she's been through a lot and she doesn't have a lot of experience. Her wheelhouse is vulnerability. Like she led with the emotional chemistry. And he was drawn to that because I think he does want that. He desires that from someone. But I think it was too much.
Okay.
There wasn't enough lightness. It felt very relationship-y heavy. And so there wasn't, I think, a balance between the two. I didn't see enough of the physical chemistry. I didn't see enough of the intellectual. And then it almost became a little bit desperate at the end energy. Because she wanted it so bad.
I know. I still like her, but
no. But what I'm proud of her is that she opened herself up. Like it's been a long time for her. And like she said, it's the first time she's felt this. And so I hope this is Pandora's box for her.
For every woman on this show, because most obviously are not going to make it. At least my hope for each person is it opens you up to realize you are valuable, you are worthy of love, you can have this. There are people out there that you can be attracted to and can be attracted to you. So for that alone, like I'm happy. And I hope that that's how she takes this experience. And all of the women that don't make it take that experience.
And see, and I felt that when she went in the car and she said that, you know, like she teared up. It was really hard for her.
I know.
The first, y'all, like watching, whether you're a man or a woman, if it's
how
your
are you from Chicago and you're saying y'all?
Because I'm with you.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Because you lived in Nashville, then you came back and you started saying y'all.
No, I already said it from North Carolina, but anyways,
I know, but because I match people when I'm with them.
I know.
So I know.
Okay.
Well, it's better than some of the Chicago stuff, to be honest.
Okay, what would you say in Chicago? I know I'm sad.
I don't know. It's just the accent. Like I say, chocolate.
I don't even hear that.
Chocolate. You don't hear chocolate instead of chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
Okay, anyway, what were we saying? Oh, we were talking about.
You were talking to camera and saying, "All right, y'all, like if someone, what they can get out of."
Okay, so if it's your first relationship right after divorce, or being in a relationship for a long time, or you lost someone, that first love or infatuation and the first breakup is devastating. And this is what we're seeing in Cheryl right now. It's almost like her first transition.
Wow, that is the worst.
It's the worst. And if you haven't experienced it, just like honor it, because usually transitional romances do not work. There's a statistic out there. Like,
so transitional means the one after the one that you divorce or you've been with for 20 years or whatever.
And it's necessary. They're the bridge that gets you to the next side.
Okay.
And it's part of the rites of passage. Usually it's somebody totally wrong for you. Not like
usually you're still trying to resolve the things you didn't resolve within your marriage. So you're attracting them because it's always, who are we attracted to? We're attracted to people who help us resolve the issues that we had with our parents and giving and receiving love, right? So that's number one. So if you stay with that person for a long time and you break up with them and you still don't resolve that, guess what? You're going to attract the next person with the same fucking problems.
Yes. And then you just got out of there, right? And then so then you look for the person who's totally opposite of that person. Yeah, no, it does. It all stems from childhood. But the perception is it's just coming from the last relationship. It's way deeper than that.
Yeah.
So if you had someone who, like, if you came from a sexless marriage, I mean, you're like girl gone wild.
Yeah.
And go for it. Go for the young hot guy. Get your mojo back. Get it on. Get your sexy confidence back. and have no guilt around it, because that is an important part of your like path and getting that confidence back, because it's something that you didn't have.
Mhm.
So often people seek for things that they didn't have in their last relationship.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that's what it felt like when I saw her. It was like her first breakup.
Oh, well, I'm sending her so much love because I think she's a great catch and she's gonna find
Oh,
someone
she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so then the last but not least, it's Cindy, right?
I hope we're getting all the names right, but, because they
Yeah,
don't
it's
flash
Cindy.
the names on screen as much, so I'm like,
I know.
and there's
I'm
too
so
many
bad.
people that start with a C, but anyways, yeah. Okay, what are your thoughts?
No, you first.
Okay, I love her.
Yeah.
I have from the beginning.
Yeah.
I think, there's a couple of times where I thought, and I tend to do this too, and you have called me out on this, that, I get a little too serious, and there's a few times where I've seen that with her for sure, but I still think she's the front runner.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. So for me, she checks the boxes
Okay.
of every single like domain in chemistry.
Okay, let's talk about those.
Yes. So physically,
Mhm.
physical chemistry, off the charts for them.
Okay.
Like,
You can see it in the
yeah, and
body
the
language?
photographer saw it too.
Yeah, okay.
Remember, he
Yeah.
called them out, and um, it's the way he looks at her. He like his body is just drawn to her,
Okay.
and her to him as well.
Yeah.
It's almost this like innate instinct kind of thing. I don't know, it's primal. And I so that is there absolutely, and even like the physical. If you look at just the way they look, the fact that they both showed up with that powder blue shirt. Now they said on the show they didn't know that.
Oh my god, that's
I
so funny because you and I always match unless
I know.
for this show, we'll call each other before and make sure we're not matchy-matchy, but we'll show up to events, like, that we
And we're
go
wearing
to,
the
and we're
same
wearing the
thing.
same color.
Yes.
Yeah.
When people are in sync.
In sync. That's crazy.
It's weird.
This is too much.
Yeah, no.
So
But
they were
and
matching.
They were matching, and she even commented on
Yeah.
it, and he even commented on her, "Oh, I love the boots." And like it was so just that
That's
like
cute.
outer like chemistry is off the charts. The second is intellectual. I think they're a good match
Yeah.
intellectually. I think they get each other. The way that they talk, they're understanding each other's level. I don't know both of their educations, like in terms of the academic piece. There's different parts of intellectual. So you have the academic, you have wit and charm and humor. I mean,
Mhm.
you have to be pretty
Yeah. In
pretty
alignment.
smart to be funny, sort of. Or you have champagne or whatever. But
Champagne does make me funnier and smarter.
bubbly.
Yeah.
And bubbly.
And bubbly.
Yay. So we have that. But then also you have street smarts, just kind of you have a good head on your shoulder, that kind of thing. And it just seems like they have a lot of alignment. I don't have as much information on that. It's just basically what I saw,
Yeah.
on the show. Then we have the spiritual. Well, of course, this whole episode was about the spiritual.
Oh, it was a little too spiritual for me. And I used to be a real big spirit junkie. And I was like, I can't.
Oh my
with
God, did that
this.
change your view? I know you are.
Yeah. Well, I was.
We
Until
need
I
to talk
realized
about
the
this.
seekers, they just don't stop seeking. And it's like, once you grow, you can move on. But all these people stay stuck in the same old seeking shit. And that's what I want to help people get out of.
Yeah. Okay. This is a segue.
This
So
is
as
a
we're-
totally different episode.
But no. I do have a question about this because you know more than I do.
Okay,
I am
sure.
not a woo-woo girl.
Okay.
How I see and how I talk about it, spirituality is to each person, right?
Of course.
Like everyone defines spirituality differently. It could be your religion. It could be your way of life. You're a vegan. You're like whatever. It's just your values and how you conduct life. And are you in alignment spiritually in that way? But why was it cringe for you? Because you are a spiritual person.
I cannot. That was awful. Like I'm sorry. Like
So-
that is the last thing that I would want to do on a date. First of all, it's way too vulnerable to have to admit. So I would have made it up, whatever it was. Like, oh, what are you feeling right now? What does your inner child need? I would have been like, F off. Like, how dare you? Like, put me in this situation. Because it's so personal and we're not there yet. That was my opinion. And
okay.
all the cards and burning the sage, I'm like, this is just performative. In my opinion, don't come for me. It's just my opinion. I've been in the woo-woo circles for a long time, and I just found it inauthentic and cringeworthy. And everyone has their own relationship with spirit, purpose, God, whatever you want to call it, the universe. And I just think it's too sacred to be used on a television show for ratings. That's my opinion.
Oh, interesting. Well, again, I don't know as much about that world. I have done similar things like on retreats and stuff. And because everyone, like, there's sound baths and different things that tap into different people, but for the performance of it, the show, I get what you're saying. You know what shocked me though about the spiritual as we're talking about it? Were you surprised that Mel was into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems like a football bro, so I was
Right.
surprised. And maybe that's supposed to soften him. I don't know if the producers did that. I don't think he's really into it. I
You
could be
don't?
wrong, but no.
Because I couldn't tell, quite honestly. Like,
Yeah.
that was one thing I was not sure about. And I was wondering, that's why I had a note to myself to ask you that. Like, did that change your perception of Mel when he tapped into that?
No, because I don't. I mean, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion, but I do think that he is who he is, and that's okay. He doesn't have to be anything other than what he is. Again, it's like we were talking about earlier, be unapologetically you. I think that this was a producer's reaction to being like, all right, let's go back to the fact that you said on this podcast that I don't want to date anyone over a certain age and they have to have all these parameters around them. And that had a lot of backlash. So how do we soften this guy for America? We soften him by showing him, oh, look how connected to nature he is. Fuck off. Like, we're not fooled that easily. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's how I took it. Be a football bro. Be exactly who you are. You went to culinary school. Tell me more about that. I like who he is. If I hadn't heard all the podcast comments, I would probably like him from just the show, being like, okay, great. I think you're interesting. And I think that you could really like be a wonderful husband to someone. But because we got the comments earlier and he showed who he was, and that's okay. Again, unapologetic about who you are and what you want, then don't pretend you're someone else. Because these women are looking for true love.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I'm just going to bring this to real life. And again, I don't know if Mel is this guy, but this is one of the things that I wondered about, is that I find that a lot of people who have a hard time getting in touch with their emotions turn to spiritual types of activities to help them express themselves.
And that's fine.
And so I think he might be one of those guys, because I agree. Like, I think he probably had a long time where he had very hard time getting in touch with his body.
Yeah.
Athletes, they have that sometimes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this was really in his life, because I see that happen. And the danger of that too is to also look at, how are you using that? If that is the only way that you're getting in touch with your feeling, by having shamans and stones on you, then
and tarot cards,
then that's a problem, right? Like, it's good. It's one modality, but really tapping into, like, how do you express yourself? And then that relates to communication in a couple.
Well, all of his answers were complete surface level. He didn't give one deep answer when they were like, oh, what does your inner child need? I forget what his answers were right now. I should have written them down. But every single one was so basic and not deep. That's why I was like, you're not into this. This is performative for the TV show.
Or he just has a really hard time with it.
Perhaps.
And
then why are you doing it? Leave it for the seekers.
Yeah. I know. I want to almost cast the next Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
It would be fun to have somebody totally different, because honestly, Mel and Gary have a lot of similarities in who they picked. Like, it would be fun to have a totally different kind of guy.
Okay, I don't know much about Gary. I didn't watch the first one. So was he a similar vibe?
There was a stiffness to him.
Okay.
Yeah. That, like, Mel, I think, definitely two different guys. I feel like Gary was a little more emotionally connected when he would listen. He was a great listener.
Oh, that's a great skill.
Yeah. But they have similar, I don't know, they have similar vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of comments online I'm seeing about both men and Gary, like, there's this like boring factor people are saying. And I think there's just this lack of creativeness that these guys have. They're just kind of, mainstream, I would say.
Yeah.
So it'd just be fun to cast that, and even like casting the women too. It would be fun.
But if you're mainstream, be unapologetic about being that. Be unapologetic about being a football bro if that's who you are. I'm okay with that. Sassy Schroeder is the perfect example. She wrote the book like the basic bit, I'm a basic bitch. I like my lattes. Be unapologetic about that and don't pretend to be someone else, because then you're going to attract the right person. If you're a super spiritual dude, be the super spiritual dude. If you're not, don't pretend for the cameras. That's my opinion.
Do you think he's pretending for the cameras?
I mean, I just don't think he's that into it. I think it was to soften him from his comments that he made that made a lot of women in America dislike him.
Inquiring minds want to know. Mel, write in. I want to know who the real Mel is.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Please tell me that you go to yoga every week and that you're into this, and then I'll eat my words.
Yeah, see, I think he is. Like, I think he tries so hard. I think he's trying to tap into that side of him because I think he never knew how.
Well, good for you. If you find the universe, God, Jesus, whatever you find and it works for you, more power to you.
Exactly.
If it makes you a better person.
Okay, wait, we didn't talk about the last domain, and that is emotional chemistry.
Okay.
And to me, that's one of the most important chemistry domains. And like I said, I think Cheryl kind of leaned into that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emotional chemistry that she created with Mel. And this is where, and I think this is one of the hardest ones to assess. Because if you're used to not expressing your feelings and you are a little guarded, or things have happened to you where you don't open yourself up in the beginning when you're trying to get to know somebody, a lot of times people can't feel you. Nicole was the perfect example. Like, she really had a hard time with that. And so she learned to lead with the sexual piece.
Yeah.
Like, even at the end, when there was that like weirdness, she's like, give me a kiss. Like, she was trying so hard to get it back.
No, she said, give me a kiss for the cameras.
Yeah, to be clear.
Like, girl, you're right.
Yeah, but I think she does that in real life too. Like, camera or not camera.
Yeah.
Right? Like give me a kiss. Like,
yeah.
And that's what she did from the very beginning of the show.
That's so funny.
So, yeah. But anyway, those are the 4 domains. I mean, and then there's a 5th dimension, I will say, that nobody really knows.
Okay.
And that is like pheromones and primal stuff. Talk
about that.
But who knows? Like, nobody really does. Do you know there's saliva tests that people take to see if they're like compatible?
Shut the front door.
I swear to
what?
God. Yes. Now, people are trying to figure this out. And then there's like the pheromone perfumes and like the way people smell. There probably is like an animalistic component to this that none of us will ever know.
Okay, what do the saliva tests tell us?
Well, I mean, I don't know a lot to it.
You never taken one?
I did not. But there was somebody at a conference that I was at. I think it was a matchmaking conference that I spoke at.
Yeah.
And this person had these tests, and you put like a paper on your tongue, and you could tell whether or not you had chemistry and compatibility with that person.
That's exciting. I want to try this.
I know.
See, I still like some woo-woo stuff. Even if it's bullshit, I'll still try it.
Right. Well, we all are trying to search for answers, right? As we search for
I'm
love.
not. I already did that in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah. What did you come up with?
I can just be me. Like, we don't have to keep seeking for answers. The answers are always within us.
But you'll take the litmus test.
Yeah, I'll take it for funsies. I'll do tarot cards for funsies, but I'm not going to base my life around what a psychic says or a shaman.
Oh, we did one together.
Oh my God, we did.
Right?
She was really good.
She was really good. Horoscope. Oh my God. So the horoscope thing, and I think there's like some cool things, and I have friends who do that, and I think it's really cool. There are like patterns I see with people. See, to me, all this stuff, it's more or less what you do with it.
Exactly.
You could take everything at with a grain of salt, but it's like, all right,
don't base your life on it, but
don't be controlled by it.
Yeah.
Like you have the power to change your life. Like, you have the power to change your habits to get a different result, and whatever it is that you want.
Yeah.
And to me, that's all you can do.
Yeah. And you're in charge of your own life and the way that you react to things and receive things, and not playing the victim. And my fear is all the spirituality circles that do hold people in their victim mentality. And that's the part of it that I want to get people out of. And so that's my only reservation when it comes to this stuff. As long as it's empowering and making you feel good and taking your steps towards being a good person in the world and being the best you can be, then I'm all for it. I'm out of the circles that are keeping people thinking.
Yeah. Well, because it takes the ownership out of it as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if it if it's something that, well, it's somebody's will or, whatever it is, and it's not to knock what you believe in, but then you're not seeing the power within that you could change something.
Absolutely.
And so it is something that's like a victim mentality almost.
Yeah.
And so again, it's creating balance.
Yeah.
And how do we create that? So
yeah.
Was there any questions that we had come in?
I haven't
We haven't
checked.
even been checking. We've been like engrossed in our conversation.
All right. Well, I can check the live stream right now. I know you had some good questions come on your Tuesday. So remind everyone about the Tuesday Q&A where they can. Oops. All right.
That's you.
But why don't you let everyone know that they can interact live with you on Tuesdays, because you had a lot of people come in on Tuesday and you were direct to camera. I wasn't there, and you were answering questions live, so people can submit their questions.
No, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And so again, if you're available Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, just chime in. You can pop in and out, ask me questions. What we talked about on Tuesday, there was a theme that definitely came out of it. And that had to do with, just sometimes people go out there and date later in life and they're too focused on finding the one rather than practice dating and learning about themselves in the process, because a lot of times people are referring to where they left off. So like if you got married when you were in your 20s, you were looking for that someone to settle down with, to build a home with and a life with. Well, when you're in your 50s or 40s or 60s, that may not be the case, right? Like you already have some of that and you are different. So you might be looking for something different, but people don't do enough like thought and work around what their mission is. So that's what we talked about on Tuesday. We had like an amazing conversation.
Yeah, it was a great conversation. I enjoyed watching it, and I made some comments as well. It was really fun to see the questions come in. So the question that did come in is, what is your opinion on long distance dating, and can it actually work?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. So what I will say is that it depends where you are in the phase of dating. So if you, let's say, are just coming out of divorce or getting back out there,
Right.
long distance relationships could be just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, it's
They're
easy.
fun. I call them honeymoon.
Oh,
honeymoon relationships. Sorry, but they are like, because you every time you see one another,
it's the best.
It's the best, and you always look cute.
Yeah.
And you always get shaved, and you always you make sure you're at the
you're ready to go.
100%. Yes.
Got the hair done.
Yeah. You life isn't like chaotic and stressful around you because you create a safe bubble for that weekend that's sacred for just the two of you.
Yeah.
And then time passes and you can kind of do your life over here. And then when you see each other again, yay, it's magical. So I did that.
You did? I was about to ask you.
Yes, okay. I did. I dated somebody. He lived in Vancouver. Like this was earlier on. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And he was awesome. But and it worked until it didn't. Like, and it ran its course. And sometimes there's an expiration date with that.
Yeah. I did it too. And he was known because we all have a name for every single person that we date, right, ladies? He was vacation boyfriend.
Oh, vacation boyfriend.
So vacation boyfriend would whisk me away to like fancy locations and we'd have a great time. And there was one point where I was like, could this be a relationship? But I always pretty much knew this is not it. But until I'm ready, because I was not ready because I was fresh out of my divorce to like settle down again, then I don't think this is it. But in the meantime, can a girl have a little fun? Yes, she can.
Absolutely. And you should.
And be treated like a queen on those vacations. Yeah.
So you got what you needed, and at that time, that's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Yeah,
right?
and so did he.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was a reciprocal, happy relationship.
Well, and the flip side, when it can work, is if both parties have means to travel and like people are flexible in where they're living.
Yeah.
And if you're able to be free and say, yeah, you know what? I'll give it a try. And then you can maybe live in that town for a while. And see, this is the beauty about dating later in life, I will say, is because a lot of people have the resources and the time to dedicate towards something like that. So I do not knock it, it again, it goes back to there's no cookie cutter answer here. It depends on your own situation. Now, the danger in this is, and here's where you have to like kind of check yourself, is every relationship that you keep getting in a honeymoon effect.
Mhm.
Are you keeping everyone at a distance, even if they're close?
Mhm.
And that's a different story. And you may be seeking out long distance relationships or seeking out ones that are a little bit safer, that you know that will never really work out in the long run, because really deep down you're scared of abandonment. So
Yeah.
like that could pop up. So again, check yourself or call me, kimmyseltzer.com. And just, because sometimes you're not aware of that, and it's really pulling back all the layers and seeing what that is all about.
Yeah, and I do think, I mean, going back to our earlier conversation, I don't want to discount, therapy and spirituality in the way that if you can figure out what are the things that were unresolved in my childhood, with my parents, in my relationships, that I am now looking to be fulfilled by the opposite sex, and realize I can fulfill them myself, then your dating life is going to get so much better, because you're only going to start attracting people that complement and enhance your energy and make your life better, rather than people who are there for you to literally figure out your old school problems with. So when you're in your 20s, whatever, when you're in your 30s, 40s, especially, I can't even imagine because I'm not there yet, 50s, 60s and beyond, it's like, you better figure that shit out so you don't keep repeating those patterns so you can have the best relationship ever.
Well, and I will argue that if you are over, I'd say 45, 50, it wasn't as common to talk about this stuff, like we didn't
Okay.
have podcasts. We didn't have, we had the rotary phone, and that's all we had, right? And we would talk to each other on the phone. And if you had a good girlfriend, you could talk it out. But
Yeah.
we didn't have all the information out there, and it was shunned upon. So,
oh yeah, therapy was
therapy,
now
like,
it's popular.
now
Back
if you
then, it
don't
was
have a therapist,
embarrassing.
you're almost
Yeah,
weird.
who are you?
Like, why don't you have a therapist? What is
Why don't
wrong
you have
with
a
you?
shaman or ridiculous?
And I see this in my kids, by the way, like, like it's cool to have a therapist. I'm like, that's so awesome that
Oh
you
my
guys
God.
have that. Like, and for us, it was shamed.
Oh
Like,
my
we
God.
would cover it up.
Because it meant you were crazy if you went to a
Yes,
psychiatrist.
yes.
That is not the case anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So you have to take that in consideration, is that this is a new skill for a lot of people.
People of
getting
that
back out
generation are
there.
like,
Yes.
no. That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm. You're kind of in the middle. Like,
I think I am.
You straddle both.
Well, when I was little, I remember we found out someone in high school went to a psychiatrist, and we were like, oh God, we didn't know he was crazy. But then, of course, when I grew up, it was just like, of course you get therapy for your trauma so that you can heal and move on with your life. Like, no brainer.
Yeah, you kind of grew with that
Maybe I
trend,
did, yeah.
and so now it's like more accepted, and it's almost hard to remember a time that it wasn't.
Yeah.
But like for us, kids who were struggling at school, when they were leaving the classroom to probably go to talk to the school therapist, it was like,
oh my God, that is so terrible.
Isn't
the poor
it
kids that had to deal with that.
I mean, I used to work in the school systems as a therapist. And, by the time I got to be a therapist, it was great. And then all the kids were jealous. They were like, I want to go with Miss Kimmy. So it was cute. But,
I know you were the best.
It wasn't always that way. So anyway, I think we're at the top of the hour already. Like, how do we go? Do we have any more questions?
We have one last question.
Okay.
So why don't you wrap up with this?
Okay, cool.
Because I think I know your answer, but let's see. So the question was, what is the best dating app for people in their 50s?
Oh gosh. Here we go.
Call Kimmy.
Go to askkimmy.com. Oh, that's another way that you can get in touch with me. Yeah. So if you don't remember kimmyseltzer.com, askkimmy.com. You can ask me questions there. Here's the thing. The answer is there is no answer. Okay. And it goes back to what I always say, is that it depends on your location.
Yeah.
It depends on your situation. It depends on your goals. It depends on how often you're using it. Do you have a budget to put into it? Like, these are all
how much do they cost?
Well, it is pay to play.
Oh.
And most of them, and here's what I can say, and most apps are very open about it, is that when you put a little coin into the system, they show you more people.
Okay.
They just do. So if you're not seeing a lot of people on there and you're on the free version,
That's why.
That's why.
Okay.
So that's how they're making
Yeah,
money.
of
I mean, it's
course,
the
that makes
business,
sense.
right? So I encourage everybody, whatever you're on, put a little coin into it, and it is pay to play. There are, and maybe this would be a good thing to talk about on a segment of just like how we can use dating apps to our advantage. I will say overall, I don't use dating apps with my clients in a traditional sense, like maybe how it's meant to be.
Okay, tell us about that.
I use it as a portal for practice. So I don't put too much expectations around it. I don't like have people go on there and be like, "Oh my God, where's my one? Where's my one?" You know, it's more about, all right, let's do an audit on how you're having conversations. Let's practice flirting. Let me see your vetting process. Who are you swiping right on? Who are
Yeah.
you swiping left on?
Yeah.
And when we use it more intentionally as a tool, guess what happens? You end up meeting people.
Yeah, and I like the idea of practicing just like we were talking about. Okay, if you go home from The Bachelor, which most women will, at least you got to feel that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm excited about myself. I'm excited to go out. I'm excited to feel attractive, to feel attracted to somebody. So go on a few dates to practice. They don't have to be your number one perfect match, but just go and meet people in the wild. And then you start feeling like, oh, I can do this again.
Exactly. And it goes back to the whole dating portfolio, like your financial portfolio. You have to diversify as much as possible. Don't just go on the apps thinking that's the end all be all. Balance it out by going out in real life, join clubs, go to business conferences and flirt up a storm, go to the grocery store and say hi. You have to do it all because you're exercising your social muscle when you're in real life, and that's going to help you on your app dating.
Okay, besides the apps, go to Whole Foods. There's a lot of hot guys of all ages there, lady.
If
And
you
there's beautiful women too.
Do you know that years ago, the Whole Foods here in Venice was
Yeah.
deemed as the #1 pickup place here in LA?
Oh my God. When I
Yes.
lived in Santa Monica, I would go there and I'd be like, who
Correct.
are all these beautiful people? I would I can't go after in my sweats because I feel unworthy of walking into the store because
Yeah.
everyone there is so gorgeous and perfectly put together.
But you can look cute in your sweats. See, that's the point. Like, you don't have to wear a red dress.
No, the girls
to
that look cute in their sweats, they I don't know. I have to
You have to be intentional.
yeah,
with your sweats.
yeah. I'll just put makeup on with the sweats. My
You have to put the
God.
Lululemons and look really
Lululemon's
cute.
out, Kimmy. Lululemon's out.
Aloe.
I think they're okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can start doing the branding stuff here. I'm all about it because there's so many cute. Now there's so many cute. There was only Lululemon back in the day.
Yeah. They
And
used
now
to be
there's
the vibe.
So many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot. The other thing that I will say, Erewhon has taken over.
Erewhon is my favorite store of all time.
Oh, is it Erewhon or Erewhon?
Erewhon.
Oh,
I don't know.
Erewhon. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But you know what I figured out?
Okay, what?
Do you notice how close
The aisles are?
I think they did that intentionally. So that
So they can fit more product, not so people can meet people.
I think it's so that
No,
you
so they can sell more $100.
I think it's brilliant.
Okay. Me and my friend Crystal, we play a game. We go into Erewhon and we go, guess how much? And it's like a little package of beats. And you're like, guess how much? How much
To
do you think?
strangers?
No, just to each
But
other.
see, that would be cute to do to strangers.
All right, you're right.
What? You just said something that you could do today.
This is a good idea.
It is a really good idea,
Hey,
but
how
no,
much do
she
you
does
think
it
these are?
with her girlfriend. No, when I take people out and I'm doing my wing gal sessions, that's why I love going to the grocery stores. And
it's better than a bar.
Oh my God, because there's so many props around you. You can pick them up and, ask people about it. That beat thing, that's perfect. So, okay, you're going to do that and then you'll talk about it.
Okay, and then I'll come back and talk about it. Okay, so how much do you think a package of beets are at Erewhon?
There, I would say $15.
You are almost correct. I think they were 18.
With tax.
I'm sorry to anyone who lives in anywhere else but California does not understand this, but Erewhon is a fucking vibe.
I know. Their soups are incredible too.
Yeah. Well, I was going there on the Beverly Boulevard one, which is just on the street. Before it was cool, before it was Instagrammable, before it was,
I remember you telling me about it.
I went there every single day and it was still overpriced, but as a holistic girly, it was perfect for me because I could get my green juice, my cute salad, whatever I needed to be a holistic girly. And now it is an institution. It's iconic.
Okay. I'm going to use this as a last dating lesson.
Okay.
And that is go to places that are your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That you love, that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
That you can feel totally comfortable with. that is the first place you should go to practice flirting.
Yeah, like if you're crunchy, go somewhere. Michelle called me crunchy the other day, and I go, no, I wear high heels, so I don't call myself crunchy. But like, go where your people are. Clicky crunchy.
All right, y'all. We got to wrap up here. Allie, thank you as always.
Thank you,
This has
Kimmy.
been amazing.
Cheers.
Cheers. Another great first date. I feel like we're definitely in a relationship now. This has been Dating Real Talk. I'm Kimmy Seltzer and
I'm Allison Melody. And yeah, we'll be back every week for more hot topics and tea.
And keep it fun, keep it flirty, but most of all, keep it real.